Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Thursday, December the 17th, the year's 2020. Let's talk trading. Winning ugly with Walmal, part 3. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Walmal. Walmal, did you win pretty or ugly today?
I won pretty. I had a good day. I have an overnight trade that I sometimes take, and I needed to go and stay up overnight because of some personal issues, but I was able to go and stay up with it and manage the trade and manage to get a really, really nice. I was able to ride the pound dollar up about 50 pips, so that was winning pretty, and I didn't violate. And here's what really made it pretty: it wasn't the pips, but made it pretty was I didn't violate a single one of my rules, and that's what made it really pretty. Now, the fact I got 50 pips on it, that's just bonus. That's wonderful. That's great. But the reality is, the pretty part of it was I didn't violate rules, never put my account in jeopardy. Never had trouble with it, and it did go down. When I first got into the trade, it went against me about. On this particular trade, I have a stop loss on that of 20 pips, so it did go. It went against me about 12 pips, but I didn't violate it. Let it go. Followed my rules, and I was able to follow that all the way up, and that was just a wonderful, wonderful thing.
So yesterday we were talking about winning ugly, and we ran out of time. And just the whole idea about winning ugly is to manage your brain, because we always talk about risk management, that you don't lose any more on one particular trade than you're willing to lose. But then we go into brain management, and that's what you have to make sure you have in check, because if you win ugly, that is a psychological chip, meaning it's like, hey, I just won a trade and I broke all these rules, so maybe I can get away with it again and again and again, and that's what you don't want to have happen.
You're exactly right. It's for me anyway. I allow myself to have 3 losses in a day. That's it. I'm allowed to lose 3 times, and no matter where I am on a day, I'm done. I'm just, okay, hang up the cleats, so to speak, move on to something else, do something else, go have fun, or maybe just go and study the chart, maybe study your trades and say, why did I lose those trades? Did I lose the trades because of market condition? Did I lose the trade because it just happened? Or did I lose the trades because I shouldn't have entered where I entered? I don't know, but let's go and look at that. So that may be a good thing to do. Maybe spend some time studying. Spend some time learning more about what you're doing. I mean, this is a profession. Trading is not a hobby, or at least if you're trying to do this for a living, it's not a hobby. It's not something that, it's the type of thing when, I love to go and, I got several different hobbies, but one of them that I used to have as a hobby as a kid was raising tropical fish. And the thing was, doing that, if you made mistakes, the worst thing that could happen is that you lost a couple of fish. Yeah, that's terrible that you lost a couple of fish, but that's not the end of the world. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, what she does is she manages a lab. A large lab for a major university, and at an Ivy League school. And in this lab, she's got 10,000 fish tanks that she has to manage. If she makes a mistake, okay, we're talking hundreds of thousands of fish die. That's the difference. The difference is if I made a mistake when I was younger in keeping tropical fish, I lost 15, 20 fish, maybe lost $1,000 or $2,000 worth of fish, and yeah, that's hard. But if she goes and loses out, I mean, we're talking about $500,000 worth of fish could die, and that's the difference. And that's the difference between professionally trading and treating this as a hobby. Because when you treat it as a hobby, it's sort of like, I took a loss, so what? You may get mad, may get angry, whatever. But that's why we have rules, because those rules keep us in check. Those rules allow us to go and win in a way that over the long haul, at the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the year, we got more money sitting in the bank account than we did at the beginning. And that's the goal. And that's for me, winning. I'm going to and define it maybe a little bit different. Pretty for me is not the outcome of how many pips I have at the end of the day. Winning pretty for me is, did I follow what I said I was going to do? That's winning pretty to me. Winning ugly is going, and I went and actually have more money in the bank at the end of the day, but I violated Rule 1, Rule 2, or Rule 3, whatever it may be. Because when I do that, you're exactly right. I love what you just said, Tiro, where you went and said that you may get a chip on your shoulder or something like that. Hey, I violated the rule. I got away with that. And then you get what I call a Superman complex. I'm invincible. I'm this great trader. In fact, you get the big S on your chest. I can do whatever I want. I'm just gonna. It's this market here. It's nothing more than a money making machine. Just pull the lever and I get money coming out.
Yeah. You made me laugh there. You get the S on your chest. Super trader, right?
Maybe not an S, maybe an ST, super trader.
No, you get a $sign on your chest.
There you go.
Or a pound sign or a euro sign, whatever. But some type of $sign on your chest. That's too funny.
But the thing is, you got to be, we put rules in place, and we talked about it yesterday. We put rules in place for our own protection. Why are we going to be foolish and not go and follow for our own protection? What happens is when we do that, we set ourselves up for disaster. And I talked about this, in one video going back probably in the summer, maybe, I'm thinking, where there was one trader I was talking to, and what was happening was that he didn't like to take losses. Okay, he likes to go and says, I don't like taking L's. Okay, and what happened is he'd wind up win. Now he'd win 15 times in a row, and you look at his trading report, look wonderful, look great, and then there's one loss in there, and it's very clear that he violated his trading plan because that one loss wiped out not only all of his wins, but even a good portion of his account. And that's what can happen when we try to sit there, and try to win, when reality is, you know what, we're in a losing trade. Cut your losses. Cut it off. Because that could turn around and it could turn into a win. And I'm sure, I remember talking to him and he was saying, well, there have been times in the past where I was down this much and it turned around and I was able to get back to break even, or turned around and I was even able to get a profit. Yeah, but the thing is, look at all that risk you took on unnecessarily. It would have been better just to go and have your stop loss in place, taking a loss, and just waiting for the next trade to come down the pike. When the next trade comes down, there's a good chance that you'll go and not only make up, what you lost, but maybe make a little bit of profit too.
Yeah. That is interesting, because I'm wondering, did that trader have a plan? Because I'm sure his plan didn't say it's okay to lose, give back all of my winnings and part of my principal, part of my stake.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I don't remember how many years ago, but I think there's a video out there where I talk about trading like a casino, where a casino will take all bets, but the rules never change, and the rules must be followed. And because they know they have that statistical edge, so they do it. And that's one of the reasons why I started trading using statistics, and set up very simple systems, a horizontal line cross that at this level should pay off. Right now I'm looking at the Walmal trade, and if you trade it either way, either you're still in it or you may have already taken a loss or two, because I think it has a high of 3,600 and a low of 35, call it 88. It hasn't really moved out of that range yet.
Yeah, and that's part of trading. I'm done for the day, but you're right. I would have probably gone long at the 3,600, and it just barely cracked it, so there really wasn't any room for profit. And so my rules, would have been, okay, it turned around like that, I would have gotten out with minus 7 pips. I would have taken a loss of 7 pips there. But then I would have taken the second trade that would have showed up. And if you look at that second trade, the very first trade that you could have gotten in the beginning of the hour, you could have picked up 8 pips. Okay, so let's say you got out with 5 pips on that. You took -7, so now you're down 2 pips. Your third trade would have gotten you in, and you could have picked up 2 pips, maybe not. But let's say you did pick it up. Now you break even. The third trade you would have gotten with, if you would have taken the third trade, you could have potentially picked up 5 pips. So for this hour, potentially. Now this is not a very good hour for the Walmal trade. I mean, there are hours like that. But you could have been up for this hour. You could have been up 5 pips. That's respectable.
Yeah,
For me, that's half my core.
Yeah, well, but we still have 30-some minutes left.
Exactly, and I don't necessarily need. Here's the thing. I say my core is 10 pips. I need to make 10 pips by the end of the day. That doesn't mean I have to make 10 pips in the first hour. I've got multiple hours I can go and make that on.
Right.
And so, and it's type of thing where, I could have actually gotten into, there's been 2 trades where I could have taken losses of 7 pips in a row and been down 14 pips and only picked up, 5 pips of it. And so I may be down 9 pips, depending on how you look at this and where you put your entries in. So I could be down 9 pips for the hour. Reality is, here on the East Coast of the U.S., it's 9:25. I've got another 4 hours in my time frame, my window when I like to trade. I've got another 4 hours of good trading time that I can go and trade it. And typically you can make 10 pips in an hour, and so I get the chance of picking up 40 pips to make up that -9 pips. Now, could I continue losing? Sure, I could, but that's also why I've got my rule in where I don't like to lose more than 3 times in a day. That protects me on a bad day. So does that mean at the end of the day I could lose money? Yep, it does. But it also protects me that I can't. The absolute worst thing I could do, okay, is be down 30 pips for the day. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen. And because of my percentages in my account, that means that I'm not down 30% on my account. At that point in time, I'm down somewhere around 4% in my account. That's not good, but it's not 30% down. And that, and to me, if I follow those rules, and let's say it took 3 losses in a row, or even 3 losses, okay, and I'm down 30 pips, but I followed my rules and did everything I was supposed to do, I would still call that winning pretty, because I followed my rules. Because exactly what you said, Tiero, why do the casinos do what the casinos do? Because they know there are days that they're going to be in the hole, and they know that there's going to be days that they're going to be they're going to be, up in the green. And that's just reality. And that's what we have. That's how we have to look at things. If you're going to be a statistical trader anyway.
Yeah, I wonder how many days a casino is actually in the hole from the casino floor, not, the whole hotel establishment and whatever else they got going on, but just
right
on the tables.
Probably not very often, because the thing is, you got to remember, with they're I'm going to call it trading, but they're betting. The reality is they're betting 24/7.
Right.
So they're betting 24 hours a day. So yeah, they may go through several hours where they may be losing because it just happens, because statistics catch up to you. But then it's going to turn around, and because they're still going, they're going to go and win out. And the thing about it is, see, that's the difference between us and them, is that, at some point in time we get tired, and the other thing is that their account, so to speak, as opposed to our account, is an unlimited account. Now, of course, it's not unlimited, but in terms of what the actual bets are coming down on the tables, it's unlimited in that respect. So I'm sure there are days where they're negative, but I'm also pretty sure that's probably very few.
Yeah. Well, okay, fellow traders, the fastest 15 minutes in trading is just about up. So hopefully, over the past 3 days, we've talked about winning ugly. Hopefully, you've picked up something that'll turn your wins from ugly to pretty, or make sure your losses aren't too ugly. And just remember, and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.